So today we are going to be talking about creating your book within the Amazon KDP platform. I've already had videos and made videos about creating your account. If you haven't seen them and you haven't done your creating your account yet, do have a look back on my other videos. All the instructions are on there. But now that we've created the account, we're looking at now starting to create the book. So today I'm going to be showing you exactly how to format your book in the way that you want to format it so that you can upload it onto KDP and not have any issues with the book getting rejected or it spilling outside of margins and so on. So today I'm just assuming that you have already written your novel and that we just need to get it into the format where you can upload your book onto KDP. Let's click on here, create a book. And this is what you're met with. Pages and pages of jargon. It's very confusing. Where do we go from here? This is exactly why I'm doing this guide, because this Amazon site is not easy to navigate around and find your way around. So let's first of all click on paperback formatting. Most books that you make will be made in paperback. We are going to cover ebooks, but that will be in a different video. Hardbacks aren't really necessary. There's other platforms and so on you can do for that, but we're just going to go for this main one. We're going to be talking about formatting your paperback book. Again, here we have pages and pages of jargon, but we're going to have a look here about your trim size. Now, this is basically the size of your book and the size that it's going to be cut to, which is why it's called the trim size. Now, trim size is quite important. Large print books, for example, you wouldn't want to have them too small. But for the most part, smaller books are cheaper to produce. So it depends on what kind of book you're making. If you're having a children's book, you probably want it much larger than a novel, for example. So let's have a look at setting our trim size of the books. The other thing that trim size is important for is Amazon's expanded distribution. Now, that means that bookshops and other large distributors can buy your book. So if you're eligible for expanded distribution, it is a good thing to be able to do. And unfortunately, not every trim size that you can create in the Amazon KDP platform will give you the option to select expanded distribution. So you need to know which sizes you're going to be creating to make sure that you can go onto the expanded distribution list. You don't make quite so much royalty with expanded distribution as you do with direct sales from Amazon, but obviously expanded distribution would give you the potential to sell an awful lot more books. So in my opinion, it is worth being prepared so that you can make sure that you can enroll your book in expanded distribution. It's better to have the option and to have made the size correctly so that you can go into the expanded distribution list rather than it being too late and you want to add it on later. So you can add it yourself. You don't have to go with expanded distribution, but if you want to, it's better to be prepared. So let's just have a quick look at the expanded distribution. Now, this is quite useful, these help topics down the side here, because they do stay consistent at least. So let's just have a click on here to expanded distribution. And you should be able to find this side part anywhere on this website, really. So let's just have a look at the expanded distribution here. We can always come back to trim size in a moment. Okay, so expanded distribution. This is telling you how this works and what to do with it. Now, the nice thing with expanded distribution is that you can keep the free ISBN number that gets assigned to you with KDP. You can buy your own ISBN number, and that's basically the barcode number for making sure that your book sells. You can buy your own ISBN number, but there is no need because Amazon give you a free one, and that can be used as well with expanded distribution. So the ones that can be the sizes, the trim sizes that can be used with expanded distribution are all displayed here. Look at all these trim sizes. So I would take a screenshot of this page because you will probably be referring back to it quite a lot. So this will show you here what the trim size is. So for example, 5 inches by 8 inches. Get your ruler out so that you can have a good visual idea of how big that is. But basically, that's one of the smaller sizes. That would be perfect for, say, a small short novel. One of the main ones that you would see would be the 6 by 9 inches. That's slightly bigger for a sort of bulkier novel. Okay. And what's important to note is, are these allowed with expanded distribution? So for the 5 by 8, black ink and white paper, yes, it's allowed. Yes, it's allowed. But note here, premium color ink with white paper. And this is really talking about the inside of the book. So don't worry about your front cover. That can be in color, but we're talking about the inside of the book. So if you're wanting premium color ink to go inside on the pages of your book, which for the most part novels will not need, then this size is not suitable. Okay, if you're wanting that, you want to be going down somewhere it says yes. So you'd want to choose more of the 5.5 by 8.5, and that one would be okay. Okay, so I don't want you to get caught up and make the wrong trim size for your book, which is difficult to change later on, and then not be allowed to do the expanded distribution if you want to. Here it looks like the 7.5 by the 9.25. That's a good one that I've used in the past. Although it's not okay for the cream paper and the colouring paper, but I did not need that. I was able to produce a fully coloured cover, but then it was black and white pages on the inside. But I found this quite a nice size for the puzzle books. Now, if we're looking for larger, the 8.5 by 11 is really the biggest one that you're going to get. And that's almost, I would say, about an A4 size. Not quite, but it is the closest that you're going to get to A4 in the KDP section. So if you're wanting a big book, so for children colouring books and indeed adult colouring books, I would always go with this option. Note also that there is not many square options here. And this is quite an annoying one for me personally, because I did make a book at 8.25 by 8.25 and then realised could not put it in expanded distribution. This is why I'm telling you. Whereas if I'd have gone for the 8.5 by 8.5, it would have been okay because it was coloured in the inside. Note it's not 8.5 by 8.5. They're thinking mainly children's books with this. So for the main part, they are going to have colours on the inside. So remember up here, we're looking at premium colour ink and standard colour ink. But square books, there really isn't any option to have black and white ink on the inside. It's no. And these two are really the best square books that we're looking at. So let's go back to our trim size. I'm just clicking on the back button here. And we're back to our trim size page. Again, there's a few words and so on that are a little bit looking like jargon. For example, bleed. Bleed is kind of important if you've got pictures and so on. But at the moment, we're just talking about transferring your novel into book format. So we're sort of assuming you've got your content already written out, and that we're going to just be putting it into the correct format for uploading to KDP. So looking further down the page, so we just scroll down a little bit. Here it says some options about trim size specifications, the width and height with the minimum and maximum page counts. Now that might be important to you if you've got a particularly lengthy book, but also important if you have a very short book. So let's have a look at these minimum and maximum pages. So we're looking again here at the trim size, the size of your book. So 5 inches across the bottom and 8 inches tall. And the minimum page count that you can have is 24, and that applies for all of them. Okay, so really you can't have less than 24 pages in your book. So if you're going to be writing a very short novel, 10 pages and so on, that's just not going to be enough. The minimum is 24. Okay, and for colour and so on, it is slightly different as well. So if you're just going to have standard colour pages on the inside, standard colour ink, note it has to be 72 pages as a minimum. Okay. If we're going for premium, we can go for the 24 again, but the premium option is a little bit more expensive to print. And not that that's going to cost you anything, it just affects how much royalties you get. So remember, KDP is completely free to do. It's free for you in every single way. There is no cost whatsoever involved, but the cost of the printing of the book will affect how much royalties you get. So it's just something to bear in mind, but no, you won't be making any upfront payments. So just looking at this, the minimum page is 24, maximum page is 828. I think if your novel is more than 828 pages, we've got a bit of a length. It's a bit too long, in my opinion. But it depends on yourself. But just bear in mind that is going to be your maximum pages. So let's just scroll up again on the page, and we're looking for downloading a Microsoft Word template. Okay. Again, loads more jargon, loads and loads to look through. But what we're actually looking for here, this is what we need: blank templates or templates with the sample content. We're going to look at both of those. So first of all, let's go for blank templates. So just remember, blank templates is exactly what it says. It is a blank template. So we've got these on our downloads. Let's click on this. We want to go into English. And here we have all of the blank templates for each different size. So we've selected that we want to go with a 6-inch by 9-inch book. Okay, so here we go. This is your blank template, and you can then enable the editing and go ahead and save it. Okay, so we would just delete this prior to typing. Now I'm just going to do a bit of typing here, but let's say we've gone on to a different page. Now you'll notice here that the margins are different. So this margin here is a lot larger than this margin here. And again, if I go on to the other page, this one's fat again. So this is actually how it is set up, and it's why it's important to go for the template. If you don't put it into the template, what is going to happen is your writing will overrun into the binding sections. So when we're looking at here with this big fat margin compared to this smaller one here, you notice the difference in size. That is where it's going to be bound. Okay, so it's quite important that you don't have your text spilling over into where it's going to be bound, because people won't be able to read the book properly. So when this is actually bound together, this will look right. So this page here, these 2 pages here, this would be your double page spread, and your binding would go here. This, obviously being the first page, is your cover page. So when you open the book, this would be the first page that you see, and your binder will go here. So this is where the book is going to be bound. And then you turn over the page, and this would be on the other side. So if that's how your book would be structured. And that is why it's very important to use the templates that Amazon provide, because it sets it out for you. Do not get it wrong. I've got to open somewhere. So looking at the ones with the templates, already. They are useful because they'll show you how it might look and might start looking. Okay. So again, this is looking at being your first page. So the page when you open the book after you've opened the cover, this would be your first page. So it's quite nice. It will show you exactly what you want to, how you want to write things. And it's got your contents page there. I think this is nice. Have your acknowledgements and so on. So it's just a nice little reminder of what you can do. And always do remember to put your copyright in, please. Okay, so then and then on this, of course, you have page numbers from there on in, which are set there. You can't, well, you could remove them if you want to, but I wouldn't, because that will be nice once you've filled in and copied and pasted everything. It'll be nice for you to be able to go back and put where your chapters are. So that is another option for people. Once you've copied your contents into the template, all you need to do is save it. And we need to be saving it as a PDF to be able to upload it onto Amazon. So once we've gone into the save option, we would be clicking on whether it be on a Word document, and we click on to save it as a PDF. And that's all you need to do. So that is how we format the interior for our book. So a very simple way of doing it. Let's go back to our contents page. And I'm just going to quickly summarize exactly what we did there. So first of all, going on to Google, searching for Amazon KDP, and signing into your new account. Then we're going on to create a book, clicking on paperback formatting, scrolling down, set the size of your book and margins, download a Microsoft Word template, and download either a blank template or one with sample content. I do hope you found this video useful. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them as always. If you liked my video, please feel free to like and subscribe it. Subscribe to the channel, which is obviously free to do, but it just means that you get notified every time I make a new video. Thank you very much.